This is the third and final part of my Ghosts of Gloucester features. This time I focus on Cafe Renee, which is situated just off Southgate Street, near what remains of Greyfriars, founded in 1231. In 1988 the building was being refurbished, ready to reopen as Greyfriars Inn. During this time 2 workmen stayed in the building overnight. What they experienced terrified them. Lights flashed on and off, doors banged, a chair levitated, and one night one of the builders woke up to the sound of his electric razor buzzing, even though it wasn't plugged in. The final straw came when a wheelbarrow hurtled towards them. They were so afraid they decided to spend the rest of the night in their van rather than continue their ordeal in this active building. I spoke to Gemma, a former employee, and she told me about an experience she had in Cafe Renee.
When Cafe Renee first opened quite a few years ago, when I was 18, I lived above the pub itself, and I was renting a room up there, and there's a door to a derelict part of the building. I was on my break and I saw shadows, like I could see feet underneath my door, and I thought it was one of the other staff messing around, so I waited expecting someone to come in, but nobody ever came in. So as I was locking my door to return to my shift, the door handle on the derelict part of the building started shaking up and down as though someone was trying to get out. So I ran across the upstairs, and I ran so fast that most of the pub came running back upstairs, and they unlocked the door and there was nobody there.
I've done many investigations in this building and it never disappoints. My first vigil here was with the Myers Paranormal Society in the summer of 2004. Before going on this investigation, I was sent some recordings made when some of the investigators did a vigil here in 1997.
How long did you live? What's that noise? Was that a girl? Was there a voice?
Yeah. I can't find my torch. What's happened to it? Do you reckon?
Oh yeah, the
That was in here, wasn't it?
She was laughing in here.
Yeah.
Amazingly, on 2 separate occasions, it sounds as if they captured the voice of a young girl.
How long did you live? What's that noise? Was that a girl? Was there a voice?
Yeah. I can't find my torch. What's happened to it? Do you reckon?
On my first investigation, nothing happened until 1:30 in the morning, when Paul and I were called to the back basement stairwell where gentle knocking was being heard and orbs, balls of light, were being captured on digital and night vision cameras. Okay, so if there's anything up here, please show yourself as an orb or
and it was just
something.
after we've got an orb as well. I've had to turn the focusing off because it wouldn't focus at all. You know, the autofocus.
Yeah.
It focuses on whatever's in front of it, and this thing would go into focus and then.
I just had a flash on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. What time was it on the screen?
Uh,
You've got a timer on.
I've got just 32:00, something like that.
There's something else on the bottom of the screen again.
Oh, is it 24? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in 116 at the moment.
What was it? Some kind of orb thing, or?
Just
It was like
bottom of the screen.
this one's actually like a little flash.
Well, that's where we're getting the noise from.
Yeah.
Obviously, we couldn't keep the camera between down
just
here
something.
and up
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so we acknowledge you. Can you please do that again? It said something else down there. Did you get anything then? Very small, that one.
Right bottom.
Yeah.
Did you both get something at the same time then?
I think that's like on the
Yeah.
bottom of the screen.
You can't make a noise and you can't move things, we'd love to see you again. So we've got cameras pointing on either stairs, so wherever you are, we just want you to go floating in front of the camera. You can be a light, an orb, you can be a full-bodied manifestation. If we can hear you, it would be fantastic. I can hear a noise.
Yeah, I heard
Tapping.
that.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
tapping.
To my excitement, we recorded this knock.
I I can hear a noise.
And also, some minutes later.
And again, there's that click again.
What do you make of them?
I can hear a noise. And again, there's that click again. I don't know if it's me being scared, but the temperature is just... You know, like when you get a chill run through you. If you can move something, or if
My
you can
battery
make it-
just died.
Yeah?
Yeah. From like half a battery on this thing, it's gone down to nothing.
In seconds.
Yeah. Yes,
Mine's still going okay at the moment.
So you had a half full battery that's now just gone down to absolute
Yeah,
zero.
the battery flashing. It's still going to sec, but the battery light's just come up.
That's it. Use whatever energy you need, but leave us at least one camera. I feel it's gone warmer again.
Yeah.
I feel as though whatever it was has just like gone, that was your lot.
Mm-hmm.
Before ending this investigation, a group of us decided to do a séance in the cellar, during which 3 people suffered discomfort and found it an effort to breathe. Ross described how it felt as if he had an unseen hand pushing really hard into his chest. Paranormal or psychosomatic?
I've got a tight chest. I feel like someone's pushing on my chest. But it seriously feels like something's just pushing really hard on my chest.
Shortly after the séance finished, the 3 people affected felt fine, and that concluded my first paranormal investigation. My second investigation at Cafe Renee was with another paranormal group in the autumn of 2004. I was impressed with what we had captured in the stairwell on my first investigation, so around 3 AM I did another vigil in this area. Not wanting to miss anything, I inserted a fully charged battery into my camcorder and called out for any ghost to manifest, even if it meant draining the battery for energy.
Well, the torch was going off.
Got full battery. Even if you feel like draining the battery.
I was amazed when just a few moments later this happened.
Battery's just gone.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
I do.
From full battery, it's just gone down to nothing.
I was becoming increasingly anxious because of what we had captured in that area before, and the realisation that my battery was nearly out cranked up the tension even more. In the few minutes I had left of battery power, I was preparing myself for something paranormal to happen. To my embarrassment, I had just frightened myself by stepping on a piece of hardboard that squeaked.
Did you fall off the board?
It just made us...
However, I am pleased to say that I'm not the only one to be frightened by nothing, as this student experienced on my last investigation at Cafe Renee when walking too close to an indoor plant.
Oh, it's a leaf. Oh my god. Oh, someone touched me. Oh god.
Well, there you go.
Later on in the second investigation, I noticed a strange mist in the cellar.
I saw something just go across there. I really did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
Seriously, it was. Could you put the light on so I can see?
Yeah.
It was that high.
Yeah.
I just saw it move from there to there. But it's interesting.
Light?
The dog didn't. It kind of looked like I would say like a child, like a toddler sort of
Yeah?
height.
Sorry.
Yeah, height. And
Yeah.
just sort of drift like that. And then when I turned to look at it, it wasn't there.
Or was it just a trick of the light from reflections of held torches?
I saw something just go across there. I really did.
It was at the very end of this investigation, a small group of us decided to see if we could capture any activity in the disused cellar bar. It was only when listening back to my mini-disc recording that I heard an extra voice speak twice.
Hello,
What are you doing?
just coming down to get any bag from it.
I'll take it. Alright.
We were all certain that this voice did not belong to any of us. Is this voice in any way connected to that which was captured in 1997?
What's that noise?
As with the previous features, I took my footage to Chris Romer to get his rational opinions on what I'd captured. First of all, I asked him what he thought of the batteries draining on 2 separate occasions and in the same area.
The only thing I can think of, and I've noticed it quite a lot, is that battery life is entirely dependent on the ambient temperature. So if you record and you're recording at room temperature, the battery readouts are reliable. Now, you've definitely charged the battery, so we know it was charged before, but the sudden drop-off is something you quite often see when you take it from, say, a warm car into a very cold environment. And you'll see a very, very, very fast discharge. I don't know why. I'm not a physicist. I'm not an expert in batteries. But I'm saying that you should look towards someone who knows about electronics and ask them if they know of that phenomena, because I'm not convinced it's necessarily spooky.
And what would he make of the recordings that sound like a young girl?
What's that noise?
The voice could possibly be someone rubbing against a piece of plastic or a bottle and generating just a plasticky sound that we're somehow hearing as a voice. To me, though, that's absolutely wonderful. I mean, doesn't it send shivers down your spine? It's just, it's as if we are listening to the dead, and if we could do that, how fantastic it would be. What I'm hearing here is get out, and what you're hearing, you said, was duck. And I think, this is the great danger we have. This is not a science. We're all listeners at home are going to be thinking, oh, well, it didn't say either of those. It said something like, put it on. And I think we could interpret it it's so ambiguous, isn't it? And also there's a number of people moving around, and it is possible that we're hearing either a voice from outside the building, because I've been fooled by that in the past, because sound travels in strange ways. It does sound like a real voice actually saying real words, and I've listened to a lot of electronic voice phenomena over the years, supposed communications from the dead, and I'm just not convinced. But this one is very clear, and the second one, which is harder to hear, again, I can't tell you what the words are, but you get the impression of a real female voice, I think, actually speaking into the microphone. Interesting. Absolutely fascinating. The same voice, 5 minutes later. I'm convinced that what you're picking up is being picked up perhaps directly by the equipment. I'm not hearing any kind of muffling. It seems very defined. It seems far better than I would expect from a mini-disc recorder in a basement. I'm afraid I don't know what it is. I do think there's an actual real voice there. I have no idea at all what the source is. I'd love to hear more recordings from you down there.
Since making these features, I have listened to these recordings over and over again. To me, one recording stands out as saying, "She's coming, Victor." Then, a quiet, "It's her," followed by, "Be brave." However, that's only my opinion. What do you think? That concludes my Ghosts of Gloucester features. Next time you're in Cafe Renee, remember, there may be more company at your table than you think.